most famous physical therapist on the internet.
Hi folks, I'm Bob Trump, physical therapist.
Brad Heidig, physical therapist.
Together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
And our opinion, of course,
We
Bob.
did this before. Dun 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 dun.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
With
Today,
forget it. I'll come
not
back.
a pitchfork. Today we're going to talk about the number one go-to exercise for shoulder pain, weakness, and decreased motion. Plus, we're doing a giveaway, Brad. Let's talk about that.
Okay, say no more,
Go to
Bob.
bobandbrad.com. You can go to the giveaway section, and you'll find out we're giving away the Booyah Stik this week.
Booyah!
And we'll give away a couple, and you'll find out how to use it in this video. So you're going to show...
Just one of the many uses.
Right. Do you want to show the sign?
The sign?
The sign on the floor.
Oh, my goodness.
Go to
yes,
bobandbrad.com.
I didn't know what kind of sign you were talking about.
Go to bobandbrad.com. Go to the giveaway section. You'll find the giveaway. You can sign up for it. You can also find it on Facebook. Short version of us, go to Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. All right. So this one exercise, I would say this is probably the first exercise that I give to people now for shoulder pain. Would you agree with that, Brad?
Yeah, and it's going to depend on how sore your shoulder is and how to use it, because there's different levels, but we'll go through it.
Yeah, so if you have an impingement, bursitis, tendinitis, rotator cuff involvement, I wouldn't say this is good for shoulder instability. If you're dislocating your shoulder, absolutely not. But everything else, a lot of these problems, all those things I just mentioned, they start with often the humeral head. The head of the shoulder is moved forward. Mm-hmm. So what we're trying to do is move that shoulder back, that head back, and get it in place. And this exercise helps with that.
So yeah, the goal is if you got a sore shoulder, more than likely it hurts to raise up over your head. If that's the case, we want to regain that motion, but we don't want to do it too aggressively. And we got a couple of tricks that help that improve faster.
Yeah. The other thing you can get into, and we'll talk a little bit about this later maybe, is you might be actually reshaping or stretching out like the coracoidal ligament. There's a ligament there. And you could even possibly reshaping the acromion itself if you do actual hanging. Right. And we'll talk about that later. Yep. So let's start off. You're going to need either a broomstick or a Booyah Stik.
Right. If you got some long doweling or anything about this shape and 5 foot long.
And we prefer that it has some type of grip kind of on the bottom.
It helps a lot because you can't have it slide around with the exercise. You'll see.
And this one doesn't really have that, so I'm using a little cushion here that actually it sticks into a lot easier.
Yeah, so a cushion chair will help a lot.
So very simply, what you're going to start with is you're going to have the painful arm. We're going to try to do all this stuff in a painless range. Mm-hmm. So you're going to start bringing it up as high as you feel comfortable. You can kind of creep your way up the stick if you want. Sure. And then you're just going to lean forward like this.
Now Bob has a stick here. Now, you could actually start, if your shoulder's really sore, you could start with it on the ground. And do it that way too. It just changes the level, the leverage a little bit.
This is just some gentle... Why I like this better even, Brad, than this, because when you're doing this, you can actually push down a little bit with the hand, and that pushes the shoulder back in place a little bit. Right. This, I don't know if you've ever seen this, Brad. Some theory is that, especially if you do this with weight, it's actually making things worse because it's pulling the head out. Sure.
Now, that's the Codman's exercise that is been used for many decades and often, and we've used it ourselves. Yes. But we feel that this, and you can still use it.
You still can do it. Yep. You can still do the swinging Codman's exercise, but I think this is the next step or a step up. So you're going to work your way forward. You're going to lean forward, and look how Brad can show it from his angle. Right. Oh, he's really, and while you're doing, you're kind of pushing down with the hand while you're doing that.
I tell my patients, think you're trying to push the stick into the floor or the chair, wherever it's going into, and that'll get the right muscles to activate. Now, if you look at my shoulder, again, we're trying to get this motion. So when we lean forward, look what's happening to my shoulder. If I keep my shoulder there and I sit up straight,
It's a sneaky way of getting motion.
Right. The stick is holding the weight. We're pushing down. We're setting the humeral head in place. It has the best of everything we're looking for.
I failed to mention too, Brad, that this actually is good for arthritis too. I've had many arthritis patients
Sure.
that did this, and they had stiffness and they couldn't get their arm up. And this was such a great way. They'd start off like this.
Mm-hmm.
I'd send the stick home with them.
Sure.
And they'd come back and they'd be up here.
Sure.
And they were thrilled that they were starting. They could see it themselves, the progress.
Right.
And they could see it that was carrying over into real life.
Exactly. The key is don't do too much too soon.
Right.
So if it hurts to go this far and you get some sharp pain, back off, put your hand back down and go back where it's not painful. It's just a stretch.
Yeah, and it is progressive. You want to go further and further over time. It
Right.
might be over a time of a period of a couple of weeks.
Exactly.
And eventually, you really want to really be leaning into that. Really, I'm really hanging on that right now.
I had a 13-year-old baseball player, and he had to have really good range of motion because it was his throwing arm, and this is what we use. As a matter of fact, this is just a few years ago, called it the Statue of Liberty stretch,
Right.
because he was reaching up high, and that's what we want to do. That's all in the theory of Dr. Kirsch's, who's a surgeon with shoulders. His whole theory is this, and he was just stretching away, and I'm watching him do this. He looks like the Statue of Liberty.
Sure.
So it's like, well, there you go.
That's where Brad came up with them, and I call it the progressive Statue of Liberty because you keep moving your way up. And I did it with my nephew, who's a volleyball player, a college volleyball player.
Right.
Yep. And I had him do this and another one, but it worked wonders with him.
Sure.
That's all. I mean, I didn't even treat him. We just sent that to him, and he did it. And next time I saw him, he was great. So
spiking the ball.
You
90 mile an hour
You
speed.
won't believe how he does it. So you also want to make sure you have really good posture when you do these. A good one to do is just to start doing the W's.
Sure.
So because you're going to do this stretch as much as 6 to 8 times a day.
Yep.
And do like 5 repetitions. In addition to that, do a couple W's. Start working on your posture so you're squeezing your shoulder blades together, making the letter W here.
You could, if your shoulders are good enough and well enough, you could use the stick or the broom handle to go up like this and go back.
Yeah.
It's just another option. Sometimes going up and down like this, you'll feel it stretch. Don't let your head come way forward though. Good posture. Work with it gently and appropriately.
Now we're going to show you one more option here. I know this was the number one go-to exercise. This is the number one exercise. But Brad and I have also become a fan of hanging,
right,
or brachiating, as they call it.
And we mentioned Dr. Kirsch. He's the one who wrote. He's the orthopedic surgeon.
That wrote the book.
Right. He's done. I don't know how many. I'm sure he's done hundreds or thousands of surgeries on the shoulder. He's the one where we got the idea. Well, he's the one who started this.
Yeah.
We're just following his lead.
So, I mean, have you ever seen an ape with shoulder pain? Apes are hanging around.
Right. Well,
So we'll cut away and we'll go over to here and show you what we got. Okay, we're back. Years ago, Brad and I developed the wall anchor.
Right.
And this is a set of 4 wall anchors that you can actually attach bands to it, exercise bands, and you can do a variety of exercises.
Which are good for your rotator cuff. We got a whole series on rotator cuff exercises with the bands.
Absolutely. And, you can just easily put them on, and you can put them on different ways so they don't slide and all that. But I'm going off on a tangent here. But eventually, what we also thought of another use of it, because hanging became popular, and a lot of people wanted to be able to hang in their house without a pull-up bar and not, the whole thing of a pull-up bar, we developed these handles.
You got a handle with a nice clip. That clip's rated at 350 pounds. And so you get 2 of them. That's a 700 pound. You can't go more than 700 pound person.
Yeah.
So we're not.
You'd be pushing the limits on there, but you can just put it up like there so you can use it for a regular workout, and then you can do hanging. I use these all the time. What I do is I'll work at my computer. I'll set the timer for about a half hour. I come out and I hang. It's good for my back, but it's also really good for my shoulders. So I just hang like this.
There you go.
And my back often cavitates or cracks a little bit while I'm doing this.
Decompression of the spine, good for posture.
And I even do a little bit of these I'm doing a little bit of shoulder depression while I'm doing this.
We've done a video on that. We could do another one.
Yeah, we will have to do one soon. But I love these, Brad. I don't know. Have you been using yours? You've been doing a lot of suspension with it, right?
Right. Yeah. I use it when I do my workout.
Sure.
One thing that Bob, his shoulders, he doesn't have any problems per se with them right now, but it's a maintenance exercise to prevent future shoulder problems.
I did have problems though. I had a problem with that left shoulder, and that's gone away.
Yeah.
I no longer have problems. So.
Yeah. And the book that Dr. Cush wrote is full of testimonies of people who literally eliminated the need for surgery because of hanging, guided by Dr. Cush.
We're gonna print those out, Brad.
Yeah.
Seriously, I'm gonna put that on our blog because he sent me about 50 testimonials of people that were gonna go in for surgery, shoulder surgery, and they started hanging, and I mean, you have to read them. Once you start getting the whole gist of them, you're like, wow, he really changed lives.
Yeah. So he's a good doctor.
Yeah, good guy.
Matter of fact, he's from Stevens Point.
I know he's from Wisconsin.
Yeah, from Wisconsin. Those Wisconsin people are just incredible sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Thanks for watching.